Here comes Kristi Garr, and she's got one of those names that as a public address announcer, I just love. I love when they end on an R, so you can do Garr and just kind of pirate your way out of it. That's some good stuff there. Kristi Garr, 2-0, fighting out of Scorpion Fighting System in Michigan. And actually, you know, as a fighter, I normally see like that fight face they put on, that tough kind of look. She comes out all smiles here tonight. That's kind of odd for a fighter, but she seems to be in a smiling kind of mood.
Yeah, every fighter's got their own unique perspective on fighting. You know, me personally, I'm not the meanest guy, but I just love to fight, and it looks like she's similar in that fashion. Walked out to Can't Touch This and had a shirt that said filthy on it. I'm loving it.
Absolutely. Kristi Garr getting checked out right now. We've checked her out. Now let's check out her opponent, our second Labuy of the night, Courtney Labuy, coming to the cage right now.
Next up, welcome her opponent, Courtney Labuy.
Courtney Labuy is 3-0. A little bit earlier on in the night, her sister fell in a unanimous decision in a very tough fight against Sarah Jones. We'll see if Courtney now can represent the Labuy name well this evening. Again, she's 3-0. Garr 2-0, a couple of undefeated amateurs going as we get nearer and nearer to our main event of the evening, and we're starting to get into some pretty tough competitors right now. Labuy is ready to go, and we are ready for this one. Labuy and Garr right here, right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is brought to you by Miller Lite and scheduled for 3 rounds at 110 pounds in our women's division. Introducing first and fighting out of the Coliseum Bar red corner. She weighed in at 110 ready pounds. She hails from Goodrich, Michigan. Undefeated. 2 bouts, 2 victories. She represents Scorpion Fighting Systems, Kristi Garr. Her opponent fighting out of the Harley-Davidson of Madison blue corner. She hails from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and also is undefeated. 3 victories, 0 defeats. She represents Unified Martial Arts, weighing in at 110 pounds, Courtney Labuy.
Labuy and Garr ready to square off as all of a sudden the smile is off the face of one Kristi Garr, and she is all business right now as here we go in a battle of undefeateds, and Garr comes out quickly and right away is looking for a takedown and gets it as she drives Labuy down to the mat.
Yeah, Garr in on that takedown quick, kind of let a right hand go and just letting the hands go from top position.
Boy, Kristi Garr, who came out all smiles, is all business right now, trying to attack Labuy as she's getting caught by the legs of Labuy, but she's quickly out of it. And again, trying to get into a better posture where she can ground and pound. But Labuy using her legs to her advantage to defend. Now she gets slammed down by the powerful Garr.
Yeah, Labuy did a really good job getting that triangle set up twice, but just couldn't quite finish it. Needed to get Garr's head, pulled it down to break her posture, but Garr just out-toughing her right now, throwing those legs by, slamming her, now getting that side control. Looks like she's working to try to get mount so she can posture up and do a little more damage. So far, it's all Garr.
Garr on top early in this one as Labuy trying to break free, trying to kick out, using whatever she can to break free from this mount of Garr's. Garr now with control, trying to get over to that mounted position, like you said, but good job. Labuy's keeping her at bay right now.
Right, and in this specific position, we see Garr, for a brief second, she tried to set up that key lock, pin that wrist down, was looking for mount, but Labuy doing a good job being active with her hips. And really, if Garr tries to posture up and punch too early in this situation, she's going to give up position, and Labuy's going to get back to guard as she's trying to do right now. But now from half guard, it's almost a better position to strike from. You got control of the leg, control of the hips, a little more room to posture up and rain down some punches. And Labuy right here really needs to work to either sweep or get back to guard.
Garr using that control to her advantage, using that right hand to drive into the side of the face of Labuy as she continues to stay on top of Courtney Labuy. Final minute of the first round. It has been all Kristi Garr so far in this one, now with an elbow on the face of Labuy. Can't use it to strike at the amateur level, but you can use it to control, and she's been doing a good job of that here in the first round.
Right, you'll see Garr in between those punches. She's pinning that wrist down, looking for that key lock, trying to suck that elbow into the hip pocket and then rotate that elbow closer to the head to get the submission, and that attacks the shoulder joint. Labuy being really good about trying to get her hips back in, get that arm loose. But Garr just on top, controlling. Hard to finish that from half guard, especially on someone who is as flexible as Labuy.
Garr focusing on that wrist, really driving it into the mat as Labuy has been dominated here in round number one. Kristi Garr takes the first round, and we will see if that dominance continues in round number two here on 57 Sports. We check out some of the replays and the action from round number one as Kristi Garr got a very early takedown of Courtney Labuy, and she stayed on top of her throughout the first round.
Yep, really all Kristi Garr that first round. As we saw, that was the one takedown in the round, and then it was Garr the rest of the round trying to keep that top position, threatening submissions and landing some strikes.
So round number two now, we'll see if Garr can maintain that dominance of Labuy. And so if you are Labuy right now, would you like to strike a little bit more? Would you like to stay on your feet here? Because it seemed like Garr got the better of her once they hit the mat.
Yeah, and Labuy's even a little bit longer, and we see now she's trying to keep her distance a little bit. It's very clear that Garr's the more dominant grappler on the mat. And now if it does go back to the ground, Labuy's got to do her best to try and keep her full guard and try to threaten some submissions. But here we see Garr right away with that takedown in half guard. Labuy's against the cage, and now it looks like she's going to be stuck here for a good amount of time as Garr using really good pressure and control to establish that control on top before she starts to move to pass or threaten with anything.
Garr shot the leg once again as the action taking place right in front of us here in the cage, but almost an exact replay of the first round as Garr with the early takedown and now on top, landing blows to the head of Courtney Labuy.
And Labuy using her feet to try to walk off that cage, but Garr doing a good job turning her back towards the center. Labuy's got a hold of Garr's right arm, got that overhook going, but Garr content to pressure in there, keep working for that side control and land some strikes, albeit smaller strikes to the side of the head to open up that position. And now we see her inside. Side control here, trying to raid down on Labuy, doing everything she can, throwing the legs up, moving the hips to try and get back to guard or possibly get to her feet.
Labuy trying to defend with those legs. She has done a good job of it so far in this round, but now it is side control for Garr, and Garr is looking to rain more blows down on Courtney Labuy. Labuy trying to push her head away with that left elbow and maybe try to get an armbar here, but Garr will have none of it as she lands a right to the side of the head of Courtney Labuy.
Right, in that position, Labuy really good, coming back to her feet, landing some good strikes. Good punches to the head and a body kick. Garr getting that takedown right away, getting it back to where she's been dominant. Very smart move. And if I'm in Garr's corner, I'd almost recommend staying in half guard or possibly standing over Labuy and landing some strikes from the feet, just controlling those ankles. But here, doing a good job from half guard, as Labuy is very squirrely, very tricky getting those legs up from side control.
Yeah, it seems like Labuy has only been able to land shots when she has been in the striking position. Once they hit the mat, it has been all Garr, and Garr continues to use that right hand when she gets it free to hit Labuy with, and now she's trying to get that armbar.
Good step over for that armbar attempt. Garr needs to get her legs straight a little bit tighter right now. We see her lacing through there. Got the arm broke. Don't think there's enough time to finish it though.
10 seconds left in the round. The ref looking to see if Garr can lock that in. She runs out of time as she nearly got the submission by an armbar on Courtney Labuy. Well, Kristi Garr's going to have to go at least one more round here, try to finish off Labuy. We'll see if she can do it in round number 3 on 57 Sports. Courtney Labuy has had trouble fighting off the persistent attacks of one Kristi Garr, and Garr has dominated almost completely, especially once they hit the ground.
Yeah, all the fight. Garr's been getting those takedowns when she needs them, and then as soon as she gets on top, she's being mean. She's grinding her forearm into her face, landing little strikes, making Labuy pay for every mistake.
So third round now as Kristi Garr, again, she can't wait for this round to start. She's raring to go here in the third and final round. So her conditioning is good. Labuy looking to strike. That seems to be the only place that she could do damage to Garr, as Garr, I'm sure, will be looking to shoot that leg and get another takedown here in the third round.
Right, that should be story of the fight right here. Is we all know what Garr's game plan is. She doesn't look too comfortable on the feet. You know, at this point, I'd say whip a big overhand right and just go for that takedown. And off the kick, there it is on cue.
Yep.
Garr looking to finish. Labuy doing a good job right now, locking up, trying to stay on top. And that time she avoided getting taken down back to her feet. Still down 2 rounds. In my opinion, is going to need a finish to get a victory here tonight.
That was the best job she's done all fight of defending a takedown. Now lands a kick, kind of glanced off the head of Garr, didn't connect flush. Otherwise, that could have done damage. That one did. That one connected flush, and I think Garr is hurt.
Yeah, Garr's a little rocked right now. Luckily, Labuy made, a mistake you make as an amateur, rushed in a little bit too quick. Let Garr get in on that leg. Now Garr taking some little strikes, but ultimately is going to have time to recover here. She's got Labuy against the cage, looking to push, and now she's controlling that half guard position again against the fence. And as long as she can maintain this, at the very least, she'll ride this out to a decision victory.
Yeah, it seemed like Labuy would have been better served just to stay at distance, continue with those kicks. 2 of them landed, 1 of them landed flush. Garr appeared to be hurt for a moment, but caught Labuy and once again brought her down to the mat where she's more comfortable.
Yep, now we see Labuy in full guard. Got a little more of a chance here, just landing little strikes. And this is one of the biggest things in amateurs, even from top and side control, and now here from bottom and guard, there's no elbows, so it's harder to get openings and land really devastating strikes as an amateur. But Labuy doing a good job, using her feet, being active, threatening some submissions, and that ultimately makes Garr back off. But now we see her back in on that crackdown, trying to get that top position. Only a minute left, and it looks like if it keeps going this way, she'll be able to get that victory. But Labuy definitely making an effort here to try and turn things around.
Yeah, as soon as Labuy got to her feet, it was Garr who was right back in on her almost instantly and continues to put the pressure on Labuy.
And now it looks like Labuy here is trying to pry that arm out. She's got her other arm triangle. At this point, I ditched that arm. Now she seems to be going for an arm bar. I look to get on top right now before I go for some submissions, but looking to get that arm bar from
she needs it. Yeah, she's only got 10 seconds to lock it down. You said she needed a finish. I think you are right. Garr's going to ride this one out and might win this one 2-1. So best round of the fight for Courtney Labuy, but is it enough to gain a decision over Kristi Garr? We will find out when we return to the Monona Terrace. This is Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 14, and this is 57 Sports. Action from round number 3 as the best round of the fight for Courtney Labuy, as she was able to do some stuff striking, landed a couple of big kicks. There was a glancing blow, and here's the good one.
Yeah, really good head kick there by Labuy. just couldn't stay away to capitalize on it, and then Garr really smart, right back in on that leg, getting that takedown, and ultimately staying on top to what should be a decision victory, in my opinion.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to an official decision, one more round of applause for a great fight. After 3 rounds of 110-pound women's action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Both Judge Wickers and Zamatalo score the bout 29-28, while Judge Sabates has it 30-27, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And fighting out of the red corner, Kristi Garr.
2 judges had it 2-1. That's how we had it. 1 judge had a perfect shutout for Kristi Garr, who improves to 3-0. Courtney Labuy falls to 3-1 with that unanimous decision. All right, we got more coming up from the Monona Terrace on 57 Sports.